Guys, this is a quick video about Angular.js, and well, it's a JavaScript library that's produced by Google, so it's apparently supposed to be really something really high tech and modern, and it's one of those modern MV star, MVW, MV whatever libraries. Dual data binding, and the thing is though is that the people who wrote it, I'm looking at some of the stuff in here. They've got invalid HTML, and you got to use that. So the people who are writing the JavaScript library, Angular.js, are forcing you to use invalid HTML, and it's always been that way. There's some XHTML. This is just totally useless. You don't need that thing there. Don't ever put those in your source code. But the funny thing about this library here is this guy wrote an article, and what he's talking about is dealing with nested forms. What? Nested forms? Can you do that in HTML? No, of course not. You can't nest forms. It's forbidden. And if you ran your code through the validator at validator.w3.org, you would quickly learn that you can't nest forms. It's forbidden. And we can learn that if you don't want to run your code through the validator by searching in spec and seeing what the deal is with that. You just search, you look at the form element, and it's the latest, HTML5. You got content models, flow content, but with no form element descendants. Okay, so you might want to look at flow content is, but right away we know that there's not supposed to be any forms in there. It says so right here. No form element descendants. Say no form element descendants. Not supposed to. Okay. So there you go. So the guy wrote an article dealing with this issue, and he's using Angular.js. Maybe he shouldn't have been using Angular.js from the beginning, because maybe he should learn HTML, and maybe the people who are writing Angular.js should also learn HTML. The issue, though, is we get these people who actually like JavaScript and think it's just fun. Like, sit around and dilly-dally all day with code and think it's cool. And there's an issue with that, though, is that a lot of the things that they produce aren't any good and actually harmful. Because they don't actually understand what they're doing. They're not trying to build something good. They're trying to play around with code, make some big library. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if JavaScript could be written with custom attributes, and they're just so optimistic. And I remember working with this guy who's managing the team. I worked with this guy before. Very optimistic person, very positive. I would say positive, but positively harmful, I would say. I mean, this guy, it's just classic right out of Office Space. Remember that guy? What's that guy's name? Great. This is that guy. Except instead of great, he uses the word fantastic. He likes that word. Everything's fantastic. Yeah. So I would say that's probably what's going on here. We've got somebody who's managing this JavaScript library for Google, and they think it's fantastic, without taking a cold hard look at the fact that they don't know HTML. I'm talking about the people who wrote the library. The fact that they're advocating invalid HTML is going to encourage people like this guy to not validate their HTML, and since he's not validating his HTML, he's not going to encounter the validator telling him that you can't nest form elements. He's not going to read the spec. He's just going to say, oh, I'm going to take it from Angular. So I really want to debunk this whole idea that you need one of these JavaScript libraries in the first place. Because when we look at what we're doing, he's trying to use invalid HTML and trying to shoehorn something using a JavaScript library to do something. You shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. The first thing you should do is learn HTML. I always tell guys this. I've been telling the guys this since 2005 or 6. You need to learn HTML before you learn JavaScript. If you're trying to write JavaScript and your HTML is not valid, you're going to have issues. It's not going to do what you want it to do. You're going to have problems. And probably you're going to blame Internet Explorer, but it's really going to be your fault. Anyway, what I want to say is that you don't need JavaScript. You don't need Angular.js for writing your JavaScript applications. It's no good anyways.